Worship him joyfully, for he's been good to me. Why don't you give him the praise? Hallelujah, Prince of Peace, wonderful Counselor. He's the Alpha and Omega. Oh, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Worship him joyfully, for he's been good to me. Why don't you give him the praise? Hallelujah, Prince of Peace, wonderful Counselor. He's the Alpha and Omega. Oh, let the redeemed, let the redeemed, let the redeemed, of the Lord say so.
And your eyes are filled with tears, he'll give you peace through your golden years. For your change will come after a while. Though when tried day by day, don't you worry what others say. Mount up your wings and just wait for your change. Change will come after a while. And all you have to do is hold on, my brother. Hold on. Oh, change will not be long. Change will come, keep on living for your change. Change will come after a while. When problems get you down and your friends cannot be found, just look to God who holds your crown. Yes, your change will come after a while. So like Job, you fight on, knowing your trials will not last long. One day you'll sing the victor song. Yes, your change will come after a while. And all you have to do is hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. For change will not be long. Keep on living for your change. Keep on giving for your change will come. Your change will come after a while. And all you have to do is hold on, my brother. Hold on. Oh, change will not be long. Will not be long. Change will come. Keep on living for your change. Your change will come after a while. After a while.
Oh, tell me who was it riding? I want to know. It was John. But I do believe he was riding. I believe in the book of go with 7 seas. Well, I heard that John was up, right now. right them, right them, right you better right them, right them, you better right them, right them, you better right them, 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 right them. John said again, right them, right them, right them, you better right them, right them, right them, you better right them, right them, right them, you better right them, right them. Tell me who was it writing? John the Revelator, John the Revelator. What John writing? Oh, he wrote the Revelation, writing the number called the 7 seals. You better write them, write them, write them. 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 You better write them, write them. Right them, you better right them, right them, right them, you better right them, you better right them, right them, right them, you better right them, right them. Tell me who are they writing? John the Revelator, John the Revelator. Well, he wrote the Revelation, writing the number called the 7 seals.
His name is Holy, Holy, Holy. His name is Wonderful, Wonderful, Wonderful. His name is Worthy, 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 Worthy.
You're worthy,
never alone. I don't have to worry 'cause He's got in my footsteps. Lord, every day, never again will I be insecure anymore. Say never again, never, never again will I be insecure anymore. I said never again, never again. Lord, Lord, He's walking beside me. And He's going all of the way. He guides my footsteps. My, every day, every day. Lord, never. I don't have to worry about any problem. Oh, never. I got a God that'll help me solve them. Never. I won't be alone anymore. No, never. God said He wouldn't leave me by myself. He won't. He's walking beside me. Yeah. And He's going all of the way. He guides, He's guiding my footsteps. My, every day, never, Lord, never. Never, I won't be alone anymore. No, never. God said He would leave me by myself. You won't beside me. Hey, I believe all of the way, and He guides my footsteps. I don't do it every day. For 100 years of slavery, thousands of years ago, the rulers were so unkind, but the people were so bold. God heard the people crying. He talked to Moses face to face. He said, go get my children, find a better place. Then they were running away to find a better place. He said they were running away to find a better place. Time came to go. God said, make haste. Run on away to find a better place. 200 years of slavery, 400 years are gone. Look how long we've been running and we still haven't made it home. God sees the people dying, boys like the days of old. Say just a one for when it's time to go. Like Moses, run away to find a better place. Like you saved Jesus, run away to find a better place. Signs of the judgment staring right in your face. Running away to find a better place. Over Jordan, Lord, going to beautiful land. Oh yeah, the New Jerusalem. Yeah, I'm going to Canaan. We're gonna do it again. Running away to find a better place. Running away to find a better place. We're gonna run on. Running away to find a better place. Find us a better place. Running away to find
find a better place. Listen to me. Don't think our situation is just a hopeless case. Same set of circumstances in a different place. What if we ask the Lord for deliverance when we pray? Would he do like he did our father, so get up and find a better place? Yeah, yeah. Running away to find a better place. Oh Lord, running away to find a better place. Take the seal off the books, bring back glory day. Running away to find a better place. We're gonna run away to find a better place. Running away to find a better place. Anybody wanna running away to find a better place? Tell them we're just running away to find a better place. Oh, my Jordan, going to the beautiful land, yeah, the New Jerusalem, going to Canaan. We're gonna do it again and again and again and again, yeah. Running away to find a better place. Here we are. Running away to find a better place. 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 Running away to find a better place.
So what they're asking is move up closer to the front and maybe to the middle, because they don't want it to look like so empty. So if it's possible, thank you. Also, everybody that's coming in, if you can move up close as possible to the front, because this session will be live streamed. Again, if possible, if you can move closest to the front as you can. We all sisters, no way to hug and touch on each other. So people can move up closer, closer. If possible. You ladies want to kind of come up to the front, you beautiful ladies. You want to come with the live stream, so they want people to come up close as possible if they can. And I said no problem. If you're unable to, we understand, but if possible, if you can move close to the front as possible. There's a whole row right here. One more row. Okay, so we're all ready. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Okay, my name is Denise McLeod, and I'm here to present our next presenter, Sister Carol Hamilton. And this session is Moving Women's Ministry Forward, No High Heels Required. So it's good for me. Okay. So I'm going to go over Sister Hamilton's bio. Sister Hamilton is a native of Dallas, Texas, is the daughter of Harold and Willie Eva Burnett. She has 3 other siblings, one being a twin brother, Durrell. She's a proud graduate of Southwestern Christian College, where she met and later married J.K. Hamilton. They've been united in the Lord for over 25 years. Together they have 3 daughters, Jayla, Jordan, and Janice. Kel is a very active member of the Mountain View Church of Christ, where her husband serves as the ministering evangelist. Additionally, she is one of Mountain View's chorus directors, the women's ministry coordinator, and a Bible class teacher. She's passionate about teaching and empowering women. She is in demand for women's conferences locally and abroad. Sister Hamilton has also been a presenter for various music workshops. As a musical lover, she's been privileged to sing with the Dallas Opera and the Dallas Symphony. Carol is the founder, executive director of the Texas Women's Empowerment Conference. Its focus is strengthening and empowering women to become better people. She intends to impact their personal and spiritual lives. So without further ado, to introduce you some, and some who already know Sister Hamilton, Sister Carol Hamilton.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Y'all doing okay? Yes. Y'all sure? Yes. First things first, I need everybody that came in here with some high heels on to stand up. You can't, okay. Give them a round of applause. I purposely, when they said, what topic do you want to do? And I gave them that topic, I thought to myself, Self, you are getting you a break this time. You ain't wearing no high heels. I'm taking advantage of these sneakers I got on, and I'm going to be comfortable all day long. If you wore your high heels, that is okay too, right? We're not here about that. It's just a thing that I thought about when I thought about doing women's ministry. I've been in the church for a long time. Let me say that, okay? But I don't necessarily think that I've always done women's ministry, okay? Attending the Ladies' Day program is not women's ministry. Doing the baptismal thing on Sunday and getting folk dressed is not women's ministry. It's more of that is not that. I think we have kind of lost what we know to be women's ministry because we have gotten so caught up in the heels of it, what we look like when we're doing it, right? And so I want to talk about that on today. I am born and bred in the church. I married a man that's in the church, went to a church school, and I did all of that. But it wasn't until I became older. I can now say that I'm older. It's unbelievable to me. This used to be me sitting in these seats, right? Now I got 3 grown daughters, a 21-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 25-year-old, and I only look 26. They kind of keep me young a little bit. But I am, before I go into my lesson, I wanted to thank the organizers of this teacher's workshop on today. It's a great turnout on today, and I'm so glad you came. And I hope you came here, not just to this session, but to all the sessions Ready to Receive, and to take back to your congregations things that you've learned, that somebody that may not be here, that you can share with them along the way. And so, anyhow, I'm really thankful to that. But I got a question for you. What is ministry? Service, right? Service is work, because y'all going to talk back to me a little bit on today. Ministry is service. In the Greek word, y'all, I've been studying. Come on now. I have to be ready for today. I try to be prepared, right? Diakoneo, right? I'm on live. Diakoneo. This is one of my rules when I speak to people in public. Do not correct me in public. Okay? If I said the word wrong, you just act like I said it right. Okay? The Greek word for ministry is diakoneo, which means to serve, right? And that is in a verb form. So it means you're putting forth some kind of action, right? In a verb form. So it means to serve. How many of you believe that you are a part of a ministry that actually serves? You don't have to raise your hand. You can if you want, but I want you to really think about it, because this session is going to require you to take self-examination of what you've been doing, okay? This is a good thing, because it may expose you to yourself, right? I'm always grateful when God exposes me to myself of my downfalls, of things that I'm not doing. Not necessarily, it's okay for other people to do it, but when God reveals you to you, that's awesome, right? He is giving you a chance to try to figure out who you are, what you're doing, what you're not doing right, what you are doing right. He reveals us to us in a whole lot of ways. Please get a good shot of me, cameraman. Now, when you look at, there are different texts in the Bible that talks about ministry. One of the texts that I went to was Acts chapter 6, right? And in Acts chapter 6, they were coming together, the apostles were coming together, and they were doing ministry, food, what they call in the Bible, when you read it in the Bible, it calls it a food program. They were doing a food program for the widows in the Bible. Right? And they said, we can't be bogged down with doing all of this stuff. Some of us got to do evangelism. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose 7 of y'all to do the food program. So the rest of us can incorporate evangelism, right? There was an evangelism aspect, and then there was a service aspect that goes on. When you have ministry, both of those things have to be in place. That's right. You can't have all evangelism and no service. You can't have all service and no evangelism, right? They go hand in hand. So it's very, very important that we, and women are if there was no women in the church, you'd have a small social club. Pretty much, right? Not saying that the Lord's church, don't take what I'm saying out of context. I'm just saying women make up the majority of the church. In any church you go to on any given Sunday, women make up the majority of the church, right? So our roles in the church are very, very important. How do I know that they're important? They've been important long before any of us got here. When you go to Romans chapter 16, right? Romans chapter 16, Paul goes down the line and he talks about all these different women in the Bible that have been a help to him, or women that have done things in ministry, right? And he talks about these women. The question is, in your ministries, is it really a ministry? Would Paul call your name or your church's name? When it comes to ministry, right? Would he call your name? These are the questions I have for you, right? First question is your ministry serving others? That's question number 1. Is your ministry serving others? Question number 2, is what we currently do seen as a ministry to God? Because we can do all kinds of things in the church, right? And it not be seen as a ministry to God. It's quite likely that those things can happen. A potluck on a Sunday is not necessarily ministry to God. That's a fellowship. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know if that's necessarily seen as ministry. And I know we're talking about moving forward in women's ministry, but I really believe that when we understand what it truly means to serve, then we can do ministry. You don't ever put the cart before the horse, right? If you don't know what it means to serve or what service looks like, then you can't necessarily have real ministry, okay? So what does it look like to serve? The third question is, are we doing ministry in his name? Because ministry can't be something that we look for applause or we look for recognition in doing, right? I have done lots of ministry with people, right, that don't look like where I come from, people that are off the streets. And guess what? When you do ministry with them, they do not come back and give you anything. You don't do it with an expectation to receive back. Just not too long ago, probably about a month and a half ago, ran into a young lady who came to the church. She was single. She had 7 children, all up under the age of 12. 7. she wanted a food box from the pantry at the church. Women's ministry says, a true service says, I just can't leave her at the food box. I just can't leave it quite right there, right? So I said, well, where are you staying at? I'm staying at the hotel up the street, the motel, not a hotel. Let me get it correct. At a motel up the street. Okay, go into the motel. I can't take my kids to school because they don't have clean clothes. So she's in a motel with 7 children, double beds, no blankets, no nothing. And it's finna be cold, right? It was right on the time where we were having this big cold thing coming into Dallas. The kids had no coats. The little girls were wearing their brother's underwear. They had shoes on with no socks. They had all of this stuff going on, and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna assess from what I see, because ministry says you don't wait for them to tell you, you look at what's going on, right? So I said, let me look at this. So she says, I have no clean clothes. Okay, well, this is what we gotta do. First of all, this food box is not gonna be enough. What we have in our food box is not gonna feed a school of children. 7 kids, and you is 8 people. It's not gonna feed you. So first thing is, though we got this from the church, me and my husband said, we gotta go to Walmart and we gotta get her some more groceries for this hotel room. We're not gonna just give her a bunch of frozen chicken because she's in a hotel. So how's she gonna, we do stuff like that without thinking. You gotta get stuff that she can feed these children with. So we get there, we get her the stuff. Well, I can't take my kids to school because they ain't got no clean clothes. Well, let me go to the store, back to the store, and get some washing powder. Let's get all these clothes. And if you got any children, I got 3 of them, but you know how quick laundry. With 7 children, she had about 4 or 5 trash bags of dirty clothes. That means serving some more. You got to go get the washing powder. You got to pick them up to get the stuff. You got to go get quarters. You got to help them do it because the babies are too little. Not only while she's sorting, JK is trying to watch the little boys, and I'm trying to watch the little girls so they don't run out from the washateria. You got all this stuff going on. But would it have just been service if I only let her walk away with that box? It would have got her through about 30 minutes. Did it stop there? Absolutely not. Because though they had dirty clothes, they still didn't have no coats. So what do? You say, gotta go back, right? I don't have time for a meeting. I don't have time to think about, because tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, it's going to be really cold outside. I don't have time to go to a board to see, can we do? I don't have time for that, for y'all to take a vote to see if we're going to be able to do that. I'm not saying our leaders do that, right? But I'm saying that sometimes it requires that it's spontaneous, and you don't have time to get a whole committee of people together to do what you need to do for somebody, right? So what did I do? I reached out to my brothers and sisters. I said, we got a family who needs this and this and this. If you can do it, you can do it. In probably about 15 minutes, I had $1,500. So guess what? Let's go. So ministry still continues, right? Service still continues. Take them to Burlington Coat Factory, get everybody a coat. Mind you, I'm having to go to 2 or 3 stores because we're technically in spring, but it's still winter in Texas tomorrow. Nobody has a coat, so I'm running to different stores. By the time I'm running all these stores, I got all these kids in my car, all 7 of them. They hungry, and they fussing and fighting because the little one is touching over here and the little one is touching over here. The mama is frustrated, and I'm saying, this is what I say, in good old Waliva Burnett fashion, because I am my mother. I tell her, don't worry about it. I said, look at here. Because I'm still serving. I'm giving the mama a break. Look at here. I don't want nobody to say nothing else. Don't you touch nobody. I said, Mama, don't you worry. bet not see nobody touch nobody. Ask me, did they touch somebody? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Got them what they needed, right? Got them something to eat. Then took them back to the motel, brought them to Bible class, went back and picked them up for Bible class. Did it stop there? Absolutely not. Because not only does she have 7 kids, but she's walking all of them to school, and they go to 2 different schools way across town that she walks them to every day. Service says, I can't let them walk tomorrow because it's cold. So I'm going to go pick them up so I can take them to school, and when they get out, I'll go get them so they can take them. I had to do that for a few days. Because when you're doing service and you're doing women's ministry, it doesn't stop at a little box of food. You got to sometimes serve these people. Sometimes these people are us, right? It's not always the people that are out there that you see on the street or that you meet on the street. Sometimes it's people that are right in here, and we have to serve them. Sometimes it's going to require, and I'm moving so fast ahead of my whole mind right here of everything that I got on my paper. Let me go back to my paper. Let me go back, okay? So let me reverse back a little bit, but I wanted to give you a scenario, a real scenario of what it looks like when you're serving, right? So I came up with this, because I'm a creative mind, right? I came up with this acronym for SERVE, right? Y'all gonna wanna, this one y'all might wanna put on social media, but I want you to digest it for yourself, right? I came up with this acronym for social media to help you to keep things in perspective when you're serving somebody. To serve means it's selfless empathy that readily values everyone. Selfless empathy that, the TH ain't in there, okay, that. Selfless empathy that readily values everyone. When you're thinking about serving people, you have to have a connection with them and empathy with them that you value anybody regardless of who they are, who their mom is, where they come from, what they look like, what they have on, what they smell like, anything. You have to have a selfless empathy so you can connect. Otherwise, you can't really do ministry. It's going to be really difficult for you to do ministry if you don't have a selfless empathy that is always ready to value any person that you come in contact with that you want to service, right? You have to have that. You have to have it in ministry. This is a good way to approach your service to others. It helps you to keep your focus. It helps you to maintain the right motives and to have the right heart. Many people serve others, right? Many people serve others, but their hearts are not right. 1 Corinthians said it best, 13. Some of us going to say, Lord, did we not do these beautiful things in your name? Didn't we not love and feed the sick and feed the and help the poor? And then we not do all of these things? He says, well, you did it, but you ain't had no love doing it. This is why we have to check our hearts before we can even start talking about service and women's ministry. You got to check yourself to see, am I doing it for the right reason? Or am I doing it because I want people to call my name when we get to the end of what we're doing? I want them to take a picture of me, and I want to be in the picture, and I'm so grateful to be on the committee. But you did it, but there was nothing about God attached to it. It was a selfish ambition, right? And so you have to really be mindful of those things when you're talking about doing service and doing women's ministry, and making sure that what you're doing is effective, right? If it's not of the heart, then ultimately it's not going to be effective. I'm not a prophet, but I will predict that. I'm not a prophet, but I will predict that if your reasoning for behind what you're doing is not motivated by God and motivated by the right spirit and by the right intent, then it won't be effective. Okay, it won't be effective. And I'm talking about where it counts in the end. because there are a lot of people, a lot of philanthropists and people that do big things and all these different things. They do things in our world. But that stuff is not going to get them in heaven. People do great things all day long, every day. All day long, every day. But you have to ask, is the heart behind it right? It went really, really fast. But for 27 years, and there have been multiple times that I have to go back and recheck myself. Because I don't want to just do it because I'm trying to get brownie points for the appreciation they're going to have for us in March. Nobody got time for that. Let me go ahead and do that. No, nobody got time for that. You serve people, right? Not because you want others to give back to you, but that's what God would have us do, right? That's what God would have us do. So what should your women's ministry look like, okay? This is coming from the book of Carol, chapter 1. Number one, if you're taking notes, number one, your ministry should always have purpose, okay? Why are you doing what you're doing? If you don't have an answer for that, I want to encourage you to go back and get an answer for that. Why? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? Okay? Number one, it should have purpose. Number two, what does your ministry look like? It should have a mission. What is it accomplishing? When you're doing what you're doing, what is the accomplishment that you're trying to reach by doing this ministry that you're doing? So what ministry looks like, it has purpose, it has a mission. Number three, it has structure and spontaneity. What do I mean when I say structure and spontaneity? I believe that it's great to plan. I believe it's amazing. I think you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal. You have to have this. But also, just like I said, ministry sometimes requires spontaneity. It means that sometimes you ain't going to be able to plan for it. You just got to be able to do it. If somebody is in a situation at that moment, you got to be able to do it. If somebody is, it is serving people. It is praying for people. It is doing all. I saw a lady at the grocery store. I haven't seen her at church in probably 3 months. Yesterday. I'm in the parking lot of Tom Thumb, and she's saying, I just need you to pray for me because I haven't been back to church, and I'm trying to go, and I want to come back, but, things just keep getting in the way, and then I'm raising my granddaughter, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. I said, look, let's pray right now. That's right. I ain't got time to be wondering who looking at me, what basket, push the baskets around me while I pray with her. That's right. Because it's not going to, if I don't do it right now, I don't know when I'll see her again. I need to do it right now. But that's what it does. It invokes something in you when your heart is right. It invokes something in you for you to move on it right then. It didn't cost me nothing to wait an extra 5 minutes or to pray for her right then. It didn't cost me nothing. It didn't cost me nothing. But we have to think like that. We have to be so God-focused on what we're doing that we think like that, okay? So it has to have structure and spontaneity. It should be organized and organic. Okay? It should be organized and organic. The next thing is it should be sacrificial. I've already said that sometimes it requires that you sometimes come out your pocket, sometimes freeing up your time that you didn't have. It's not a sacrifice necessarily if you had the time. It's them times where you ain't got the time and you say, I gotta wait. Somebody need my help. Now, I don't believe that, well, let me not say that. Let me move on. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I appreciate the Holy Spirit when he talks to me. So it has purpose, it has a mission, it has structure and spontaneity, it is sacrificial, it is consistent. It is not a yearly, annual thing that you do ministry one time a year. If you are in a space and you are doing ministry one time a year, maybe it's not necessarily ministry. It's a service you're providing for that one time. And we tend to like to sometimes pat ourselves on the back for things. We're going to go, it's Christmas time and we're going to feed the homeless. It's Thanksgiving. We're going to feed the homeless. Well, then there's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. You served in November. And you served in December. But 10 of those other months, there was nothing going on. Just maybe you need to take a second look at that and say, what else can we do, right? And I'm going to, before I end the lesson, I'm going to talk about some of the things you can do in your churches to be more active and more involved when it comes to women's ministry. So it has purpose, it has a mission, it is structure, spontaneity, it is sacrificial, it is consistent, it is non-judgmental. What ministry looks like? It's non-judgmental, meaning it doesn't matter. It doesn't. We want to breed people that look like us, and we want them to be involved only if they look like us. Some of y'all didn't look like that before you got in here. It has to be non-judgmental. It has to be. When I met that mom, her kids were not clean. Do I keep a clean car? Oh, absolutely. I keep a clean, the floors, I do it myself. The floors are vacuums. One of y'all brothers that's watching, tell Jamel to start washing my car regularly. He won't do it. I do it. I wash my car, I vacuum my floors, I make sure it's clean because I like a clean car. When those kids and that mom got in my car, they were not clean. When they were hungry, they ate in my car. Cheetos, Cheez-Its, the worst kind of snacks. My carpet is black and they all orange. It's just orange everywhere. Everywhere. But it didn't, I didn't say, wait, no. What you ain't gonna do is none of y'all finna eat in my car. Wait till I get you out and then you can eat. No, nobody got time for that. The kids are hungry. The mama is so busy trying to take care of her kids, she can't take care of herself. Hair is all over the place. That's the other thing. I took them to get their hair done. Mama can't get a job with her hair looking some kind of way. Let's take her. And I'm going to tell you how God works. Right? I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But when you have already been doing things like that, then when you reach out to people and say, I need such and such, this, can you please do her hair and her children's hair so they can go back to school and look decent? They say, oh, yes, we'll do it. You know why they say, yes, you'll do it? Because we've already been working with them. Just make a phone call and they do it, right? It has to be non-judgmental. You cannot worry about what they smell like, what they look like, none of that. That's what ministry looks like. Ministry looks like it's all inclusive. It doesn't say only certain kind of people with a certain kind of figure and with a certain kind of skin color, with a certain kind of, these are the only people that can be a part of this ministry. It's all inclusive. You never know what you have in your pews or even in the world until you invite people in and what kind of gifts they can help you with. You have no clue. But that's why we have to have fellowship one with another. We have to be able to talk to one another and to be able to engage other people so you know what people are capable of and stop judging books by their cover. If some of y'all knew what I looked like without this fake hair in my head, if I came in here with, technically it's 100% human, but if I came in here looking like that, right, and I came in here just looking some kind of way, but my demeanor is right, I'm in the right frame of mind, because mental health is really real too, but I'm in the right frame of mind, don't exclude me because I don't necessarily look like you. You don't know what gifts I have to offer. You don't know, right? So we have to be really, really cognizant of that, okay? What ministry looks like, again, it has purpose, it has a mission, it has structure and spontaneity, it is sacrificial, it is consistent, it is non-judgmental, and it is inclusive, okay? So you might say, okay, when are you gonna get to your topic? No heels needed. I'm about to get to it now, since you asked. Okay? What do I mean when I say, number one, no heels are needed? I mean that sometimes when it comes to women's ministry, we get caught up in everything but the work. We get caught up in what colors we gonna wear, what the balloon's gonna look like, is it gonna be a flower here or here? What is it gonna look like? And then we get so caught up in that and we miss the whole thing. Don't get so caught. No heels are needed. No heels are needed. Sometimes when I'm serving, I'm not gonna have on my Sunday's best. Sometimes I'm gonna have on a pair of tights and a tank top and a little piece of jacket. Because I'm trying to meet a need. I ain't got time to be put on no heels and put on no full face of makeup. I throw this hair back or throw a cap on and keep it moving. I don't have, and sometimes I ain't even had time to take no bath. For real. Because somebody is saying, I need you. I ain't got time to say, well, let me put on my best clothes and let me put on the suit and let me curl my hair up and let me do all of this stuff and put on some lipstick and makeup and all of that so I can go service somebody who is so much more in need than I am. And I got to make them wait on me. When I can return back to my nice home and get in my nice car and go to my nice bathroom while they're sharing a bathroom with 7 other people. But I'm trying to get all corrected. I'm trying to look good. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right? Sister Brown say ain't nobody, no, that's Brother Hart called me Sister Brown. Everybody been calling me Sister Brown, Sister Hart. Where is Sister Hart? I saw you somewhere, Sister Hart. She went out. Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody been calling me Sister Brown since I'm Carol Brown today. That was Sweet Brown that said, ain't nobody got time for that. Her name was Sweet Brown. Oh, there you are, Sister Hart. I was just saying how your husband renamed me today. I'm Sister Brown. Okay? No heels needed, okay? Ironically, looking at this lesson, you know when Moses, in Exodus chapter 3, right? And Moses in Exodus chapter 3, verse number 5, right before God commissioned Moses to go out to the Israelites, you know what God told Moses to do when he went to the burning bush? Take your shoes off. Because you're on holy ground. And I was like, wow. That was right before he propelled them into the ministry of the oppressed Israelites. Take off your shoes, no heels needed. Stop being so consumed with the accessories that you can't really fulfill the need. Okay, it's very important that you not get consumed with the accessory. No heels needed, no HEELS needed. No heels needed, okay? That's number one. Number 2 is you want to have a ministry that heals. 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 It should not just be something you do, but something that seeks to heal the heart of others, right? It's not just about stopping right there. When I talked about the young lady that with the kids, I didn't just say, well, let me just get her some clothes and take them back to the hotel. No, I'm going to take you back to the hotel. So now I bought you some clothes and some underwear and some soap and deodorant and hair stuff and all this stuff I done got you for you and your kids that I want you to go ahead and get yourself cleaned up. And we'll be back to take you to Bible class. It shouldn't just stop with you just saying, I'm just going to get them a piece of coat to wear or a hat. No, you got to service the whole man. Amen. You got to service the whole man, not just meet an immediate need, but their souls are at stake. That's a whole soul right there. With 7 little souls. You got to meet the whole need, okay? So you want a ministry that heals. Romans 15:1, if you need some scripture for that. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. On your time, you can read it. I got like 10 minutes left, so I'm going to have to, I got like 10 minutes, right? I'm doing good. Thank you. A ministry that heals. You want a ministry that heals. And then you want a ministry, right, that reaches beyond the HILLS. The HILLS is the church. If your ministry is only in the four walls of this building, then that is a problem. That is a problem. Now, I will say this, that sometimes you have to know, because I'm a very big component on understanding what people's gifts are. And I do understand that everybody is not qualified or in the space to do ministry. And it's okay if you're not in the space to do ministry. Because sometimes we can do more harm than good when that is not our calling. Some of y'all just need to serve the chicken dinner when they come. Because you're great at cooking. Some of y'all need to do that. Some of y'all just need to be the people that come and give them a hug. That's what some of y'all need to do. That's what they did in Acts chapter 6. He said everybody can't be doing the food committee. Right. Some of us got to be evangelists. Some of us got to be serving the people, right? So it takes us working as a body. It's not coincidental that God called the church a body. He referred to the church as a body because the body does many different things. The eyes don't do everything that the heart does. And you don't want your eyes to do what the heart does. You want your eyes to do what they're supposed to do, right? My eyes, I don't want my eyes trying to be feet. Nobody got time for that. I need y'all to be looking so my feet can do their job. Okay? So it's very important that you understand where you fit in when it comes to women's ministry, because you may not be the person that has the personality. Let me say that again, because we just think we can just, when you go, don't you like customer service? I love Chick-fil-A. How are you, ma'am? I'm great. I don't care what color they are. They do treat me nice. They treat y'all nice. Probably treat y'all the same way they treat me, because I like good customer service, right? I love good customer service. Same thing is with the church. Some people's personality won't warrant them to do ministry like that. Because if you're rough and you're hard and you saying, "No, don't eat in my car," and you're doing, maybe that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you need to be doing something else. Maybe you need to be on the committee that finds the stuff for them, or that goes out and purchases the goods, or assembles the food box together. Maybe you need to be that person, but we can all work together. When we all work together as a complete body, then it doesn't go lacking. But what's happened in the body of Christ is that the church is handicapped because people don't all do 5 minutes. They say 5 minutes. People don't operate in their function. You have to operate in your function, okay? So you want a ministry that goes beyond the hills, that goes beyond the four walls of this church building. And it's just very important. Going to all the world, okay? We're all familiar with Mark 16:15, going to all the world. You got to get out there. It's not enough for us to just do it in here. It's a whole world out there that needs us, right? So we have to get out there and get beyond, have a ministry that reaches beyond the hills, okay? The HILLS. Lastly is you want a ministry that heal bless, HE''LL. You want a ministry heal bless. You want to make sure that God is the focus of the ministry that you're doing, and that you're doing it for his glory, not for self-gratification. For although ministry makes you feel absolutely amazing when it's complete, to see somebody else do good, so to know that you had a helping hand in doing it, it makes you feel great because you did something and your heart was right? So you want a ministry that God heal bless, right? You want that ministry. And so some suggestions for women's ministry, I would suggest, number one of the things that we do at Mountain View is I assembled a group of women together called TAG, right? TAG means touching all generations, meaning that there are women and young girls involved in the planning of what we do as a women's ministry. So that it's not just all the wise senior saints and the middle age, is everybody joined together. And we can all come together and put our minds together. That way nobody gets left out. So I would suggest to you to get somebody to help you do it. If there are any women in here that are over women's ministries, I would suggest you do that. It's always good to have other minds and to get other ideas when you're trying to assemble a group of people together or go out, right? Because life has changed, people have changed, and these generation X and G and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of them are different. Woo, okay. Number 2, suggestion for women's ministry, plan regular activities. It's very important that you plan regular activities. Don't just do things annually. Plan regular activities. They could be monthly, they could be bi-monthly, they could be quarterly, but plan regular activities for your ladies at the church, okay? To keep them involved, to keep them doing things. Another thing is, make sure you have a Bible study group. Who does ministry without the Bible? You gotta have some kind of study group or something, okay? Have a Bible study group. The other thing is you need to have, and I said this, have monthly, quarterly get-togethers. Partner with a local women's shelter. It's so many of them out here in Dallas, okay? We partnered with one, and we were doing it really, really faithfully before COVID hit, but that was the organization that I told you about that I was able to take the young lady to. We partner with them. It's an organization that houses girls that are victims of domestic abuse, and some of them are sex trafficked by their families, their moms, and all kinds of things going on, okay? Some of them are in high school, but we partner with them. We started doing a Saturday program with them twice a month where we kept their children at the building. We fed them breakfast. We kept their children while they go to Bible study so we could do this stuff. Well, the girl that opened this particular organization, she has now opened up a beauty school. And they are ironically directly across the freeway from the church now. Directly across. So when I saw this girl, and I said, she need her hair done. Not only did she do the mama's hair, she did the little girl's hair too. Because their hair hadn't been done. It was pieces of weave sticking out because she ran out of the hair. It was all kind of stuff going on. Had them looking like $1 million. Took them there and said, can you do their hair? I can sure do their hair. How much is it going to cost me? It ain't going to cost you nothing, Miss Hamilton, because you have been so good to us. And your church has been so good to us that we're not going to charge you anything. Because when you start sewing into that, things just start opening up, right? So you need to find, trust me, it's plenty ways that you can go out there and serve other women and serve other things. And they're not all affiliated with the church. Please stop looking for things that are affiliated with the church. Y'all, we got to get out of here. We got to get out this building. We got to get out these 4 walls and start ministering to these people, okay? So do that. Go partner with a local women's shelter or some type of organization. Then you want to get involved with the youth. As grown women, with these youth in our church, you got to get involved with the young women. Have something with them. There have been times where I partnered the older sisters with the younger sisters and did a whole spa day where the young people minister to the older women. But in turn, what happens is those older women are ministering to the younger women. But they're doing something that they want to do. We've done women's conferences, young girls conferences with the young girls, different things like that. But start trying to get in with your young girls at your church. Not just when it's a special occasion, but do it throughout the year. Okay? COVID stopped a whole lot and slowed all of us down, okay? But we have to get our momentum back. It's time for us to move forward. The last thing is plan, when it comes to suggestions for women's services, you need to have planned and unplanned prayers because we all need prayer. Prayer shouldn't be something that we plan together. Sometimes it also requires that we pray for each other. Many times at the church, I learned to come prepared now. But many times I'm hot. But many times, because this weave ain't no joke, it just gets me, it's great in the winter, but in the summertime, it does something to you. I just have to do this right quick. But sometimes when you know a woman has a need in your church, whether she's having surgery, or you notice she's looking some kind of way, or she's not feeling good, or she's whatever it is going on, that ain't time for you to say, well, can we call you on Tuesday night? You need to say, I need to pull. I have done it so many times. I pull women right out of church we need to go, I need you to meet me in the back, and I'm gonna get her, and we're gonna go to the back, and we're gonna pray with her right now. We're gonna minister to her right now. Because at that moment, it doesn't require you to plan anything. When it comes to women's ministry, you gotta be God-focused. And when you're God-focused, it doesn't always, because God does so many things for us. He's really, really good to us. And I'm glad God don't have no planning committee to say, I'm gonna figure out whether or not I need to, if I can meet this need for them or not right now. No, God does it. When we're trying to be more like God, that means that require us to not plan everything that we do. I hope I have said some things to cause you to self-reflect and to examine yourself, and that you can take back to the women at your local congregation. Thank you again. Huh? Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're done with this session. The next session starts at 11:05. We will be in 316. I don't know if you want to repeat. So this is a little break for you all to, get ready for your next sessions. And thank you all for coming. Okay, again, ladies, if you can please fill out your surveys too before you leave. Thank you. And you will turn them in at the last class. Okay.